Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. If you do go on to enjoy today's video and want more content like this, then feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. By the way, if you would like your own clips featured in one of our videos, then feel free to submit them to the form in the description down below. So much chaos in this debate.
Preventing intimate partner and sexual violence against women, taking action and generating evidence, as well as the ANRO's research for the Australian Bureau of Statistics Personal Safety Survey. A variety of these research pieces go to one of the key elements that go towards violence against women is disrespectful behaviour.
SJWs are a great source of comedy.
Rapists, consent and withdrawing consent, saying no means no. They're saying no and you're saying that.
Okay, so if someone gives consent the night before and then they have, listen, if they have sex with a man and they give consent to him, then the next day decide, oh, I regret it. I'm going to report him for being a rapist even though I gave him consent. You're saying that's okay?
So you're sounding a little bit like
this feminist will still try and defend this.
In Spain, I think it was, that 7 people were killed by bulls in a bull running festival, and she tweeted, "Good, good."
No, look, a lot of vegans, some people.
No, hang on. I haven't asked you a question yet.
Well,
My
I'm
question
still
is,
interjecting, Piers.
should somebody who celebrates the death of 7 human beings be anyone that we should take seriously when she gets all uppity about somebody making a joke about vegans dying?
I mean, it says it in the name.
Would you look into the face of a man that has just lost his wife and is really struggling to play the role of the mother and the father and say that to him?
Yeah.
So you're not a mother.
He's the father.
That child.
Well, you might be more sensitive in those circumstances.
You still call him a
He's
father.
playing the role of the mother because...
If that was me, I'd be a father. I wouldn't suddenly morph into a mother.
Again, with respect, to mother and to father are not gender specific.
They are gender specific.
No, they're not.
Why are we pretending otherwise?
These SJWs just cry when they get owned.
It's helpful to demonise men in these circumstances. I don't think it's helpful to go around talking about an epidemic when actually in Australia the domestic assault rate against women in a 12-month period is 1%. Now I wish it was 0%, of course. We all want it to be 0%. But I know enough about politics to realise that if you want to analyse and get solutions to a problem, you have to be accurate. And saying there's an epidemic, which sort of suggests the rate is 50 or 60%, when in fact it's 1%, that does a disservice.
SJWs really do live in a fantasy world.
Mediocre people. But I think it's an interesting story for the following reason. She's making all these sweeping claims about an entire racial group, all of them negative, a lot of them angry, some suggesting violence. People say, oh, she's a racist. And the response from the left has been, you can't be racist to white people. Period. That's a very, apparently, a...
Could not agree more.
Further, but I just think we are becoming so snowflakey about stuff where we know it's a joke. It might be clumsy.
But she went back, though. She went back to him and she tried to make light of it.
Yes, but what she really wanted to do was go and...
But how do we know?
She wanted to go to a website.
She wanted to get an idea away. She didn't get it away, did she?
No, she wanted to bring him down.
Why is this even an argument?
I think that we'll all agree that way beyond the biological event, way beyond the biological event, including men, anyone, including men, play the role of a mother and play the role of a mother.
Women, mother.
Piers,
That's because the titles aren't male and female titles. Aren't male and female titles.
Keeping quiet is a good thing sometimes.
Well, it's concentrated there. Eddie, the basic fact is that for every domestic incident in a middle-class family in Australia, there are 10 in a public housing estate, 25 in Indigenous communities. That's borne out by crime statistics around the country. So you can't really deal with this serious issue in a proper way unless you're providing accurate analysis. And to say there's an epidemic, that's wrong. To say it's evenly spread across the community, that's wrong. To say that it's a product of patriarchy where somehow men have been genetically engineered to dominate women, that's ridiculous.
Tucker Carlson making so much sense here.
Zhang's tweets have been exposed. She tweeted frequently about killing all men. She said, F the police routinely. She once tweeted, quote, if we're talking big sweeping bans on crap that kills people, why don't we ever talk about banning the police? As is often the case, the ones crying most loudly about bigotry are the most enthusiastic bigots. You may have noticed that, but they defend themselves by saying they can't be bigots. It's impossible. Ethan Behrman is a California radio show host, and he joins us tonight. Ethan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Tucker.
So, I read a lot of this woman's tweets. What no one is saying is she's kind of dumb, actually, and I wonder how she got into Harvard. I mean, she's actually not a good writer, not an interesting thinker. She's totally mediocre, but whatever, a lot of mediocre people. But I think it's an interesting story for the following reason. She's making all these sweeping claims about an entire racial group, all of them negative, a lot of them angry, some suggesting violence. People say, oh, she's a racist, and the response from the left has been, you can't be racist to white people. Period. That's apparently a widely held belief on the left. Do you believe that? It's impossible to be racist to white people?
I don't think it's impossible to be racist to white people, but you miss the context of what happened here, and I do think that there's a bit of hypocrisy from the right on this one, with the insulter-in-chief being the head of the Republican Party right now. But in this case, you missed the
presenters are making themselves look stupid.
Speaking as a fellow bloke, we've just got to be so careful about these messages and making excuses for this.
Well, no, I'm not. No one's making excuses here, Mike. What you've got to be careful about is analysing the facts, rather than propaganda that people put out there that's not supported by official government reports, official government surveys, and there's nothing I've said that's not factual.
Pierce is absolutely baffled.
There is a problem. I am taking it personally. Yes, when you say all white people are racist, as a white person, I find that offensive.
Please let me speak instead of speaking over me.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so basically, instead of taking it personally, please think about how to be part of the solution.
Why don't you think about being part of the solution?
I am part of the solution.
You're not. You're causing more division.
I'm not causing more division.
You're basically causing more division.
Yes, by speaking
by telling all white people they're racist.
Someone froze?
Violence Against Women campaign. It states that it is an area of concern that only 60% of young people agree that violence against women is common. So that raises the question, can you definitively say that violence against women is common?
SJWs have no compelling arguments.
That it's time for the right to fight. Yeah. No, but you read his column.
Evidence. All this is screaming and feelings. How about like a shred of evidence, even for the incidents that actually happened in Missouri that drove this? Really? Where was the police report exactly when it came to, for example, the first N-word incident that led all of this? There was no police report on any of that. In the second incident, at the N-word at the University of Missouri, the administration investigated, and the kids under investigation.
Might want to rethink those numbers.
That works as a rape crisis center. We base that on the number of calls. The police know, based on the unofficial reports, the third-party reporting, and the direct reports, this is not a secret that about 10% of rapes are reported.
So how do you know 10% of rapes are reported if the others aren't?
Because those people call the women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy the video, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and much more. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time.